Good morning. Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday, everybody. My cat's looking at me like, who are you talking to? Usually she's napping when I'm live. Oh, so I am not looking forward to school being back in session. Even when I was a mom with school age kids, I hated it. It meant the summer was over. It meant I didn't get to spend as much time with the kids. It meant that we were all back on a schedule. I hated the end of summer. It also meant cold weather was coming. So my nephew goes back to school next week. And on my route to UPS, if I do not have to go to the post office first, I drive through no less than 4 school zones. And it's not that I mind driving through school zones, it's that I'm afraid I'm going to forget I'm driving through a school zone and I will get a speeding ticket. So that's another reason I'm not happy that school's going to be back in session next week. Good morning, Marcy. Good morning, Karen. So if you did not see my 2 hauls from the Lincoln Highway Byway, I think I did so well this year. I was disappointed last year. Good morning, Dolo. Very disappointed last year. And I think I found incredible stuff at good prices this year. So I was very pleased. I didn't buy a massive amount. It was only enough for a sale, small sale this week, small sale next week. But I don't have room. I don't have room. I've got to sell stuff and get it out of here. I'm starting to feel claustrophobic with so much stuff in here. But how old is she, Karen? So I thought that we did really well. And it goes Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We headed out. I was a little disappointed at first on Thursday morning because my niece had to work for a couple of hours. Oh, that's a good age, Karen. 12 is a good age. My nephew's 13. And so there was a block sale just a couple minutes from here. And I thought, well, I'll go hit that block sale while I'm waiting for her to finish up with her work appointment. She could not get out of it, even though she had requested this day off like at the beginning of the year. And I didn't find a single thing. And I'm like, oh no, is this how the whole day is going to go? Like, I was so disappointed. And then she and I meet up. We head out. First thing I pick up is a swung vase. It's a little one, but a swung vase. So, good morning, Tiger. So, right there, we were already doing better than I had done by myself. She's my good luck charm. Got to spend the whole day with her. But if you watch my hauls, you know I mentioned people were rude. It was really, really cloudy and overcast. It didn't rain, but it just looked like it was going to all day. It was humid and it was hot, and people were in bad moods. The people running the garage sales, the people going to the garage sales. Sometimes you get in with a group and there's this camaraderie, and you talk about where you're from, or you immediately clock the other resellers. And so you chat about what platforms you resell. Good morning, Roxanne. Good morning, Roxanne. But there was none of that on Thursday. People were just nasty. They were parking, so they were blocking other people. They were being so inconsiderate. They just wasn't fun. And I am not one who will ever fight somebody for something. I will barely even ask if a person will negotiate on a price. Like, if you put that price on it, I'm just going to pay it if I really want it. I'm not, I don't like any of that. So people were just being awful. And then Thursday or Friday morning, I wasn't going to go back out again because I didn't want to push it. I was afraid I'd be too tired and in too much pain. But I'd gone over and gotten in the pool at my mom's, and that helped my muscle pain. And so I headed back out again with my nephew. And I haggle a bit, but not a lot. A little bit. Um, but my brother-in-law has taught my nephew to always haggle. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Catherine. Good morning, Beth. If I didn't say good morning yet. So he and I headed out, and the sun, it was still hot and humid, but the sun was shining, and people were so much nicer. So much nicer. Everybody was in a good mood. I don't know, totally different atmosphere. Tiger. Oh. And I think prices were better. We came across a couple of really overpriced. Like the one garage sale was the price I would sell it to you guys, everything they had. And they had some swans and some glass that I would have sold, but it was at the price I would have sold it at. There was one garage sale. And we finally remembered him. We had stopped by his house in 2021. And Dillo, that's hilarious. And his wife had just died, and she was in the same size clothes that my niece and I were. And so we were excited that we found clothes in our size. They were in good shape. We're looking through. He had ridiculous prices on these clothes, was not willing to come down at all. And it wasn't like these were new with tags. These were used clothes. They had been his wife's. And so we had left very unhappy. And he was just kind of rude about it. And we ended up back at his house this year, and he had an entire collection of the grape and vine carnival glass. And he must have been on eBay, but he didn't check sold comps because he had asking prices for all of it. And my niece, who collects carnival glass and will absolutely pay retail for it, wouldn't even pay that much for it. And again, he was very rude about it. Yeah, Karen, I do that at the flea market, especially if I'm like buying 3 things from one table. I'll say, what's the best price can you do? I did like on this one, and I got a piece of milk glass from the same one, and I felt like they were a little overpriced. And so I did ask, and they did come down a bit. So occasionally I'll ask, but generally if the price is right, I'm just gonna pay it. Oh, Beth, I think we all are over rude people. I don't get it. What does it pay to be rude? And you would have thought on Friday that the people selling would have been in worse moods because they'd been out there. This was day 2. They're sitting out there, but no, they were in better moods. And I talked to the one guy, and he said, because the garage sales are supposed to open at 9. And he said that they had people show up at 5 till 8. They were just starting to put stuff out. And he was really irritated about the fact that, yeah, peace, my friends, peace. He was really irritated about the fact that people had shown up so early. So maybe that happened to a lot of the sellers, and they were just already in a bad mood because the vultures, I call them the vultures, when they show up that early and you're not even set up yet, vultures. And he said that the people that shown up that early they all wanted to pay less than what they had everything priced for on day 1. So, but we had a great time, and I think I got some good stuff for you guys. And if you missed my haul, I did add to my swan collection. And I am very aware that every single one of these is packed up, but I don't have, look at the size. It's so little. And I don't have one this little, in this color, in this shape. I have a couple little ones, but they're not in this shape. And then when I got it home, you're not gonna be able to see it, but this just little yellow stripe right here glows orange. Oh my goodness, I love it so much. But I really did refrain from, and it was $2, you guys. $2. Good morning, Sheila. I mean, how can I resist for $2? So I only got myself a few things, hardly anything at all. And I did pick up three small clear glass candy dishes for my niece's wedding. I need to find, I think, 4 more. There's only one thing I walked away from that I wish I hadn't, but there was no one around. They had a huge setup and there was nobody near the table, or I might have asked anyway. I was just looking for these clear glass candy dishes for my niece's wedding, because we're gonna put them on the tables with mints in them, and then probably just donate them afterwards. So I only wanted to spend $1 to $2 on each of them, and I have gotten 2 at $1, 1 at $1.50, and then my mom's got one she's gonna let us use. So the one I got is crystal. It is absolutely crystal, and it was $1. Good morning, Kaz. If I missed anybody coming in, good morning. Thanks for being here. But we went up this one garage sale, and they had a crystal one from the 80s that still had its original sticker, and it had a lid where like the handle part was like that big, and it was so cool, but they wanted $5. Which was funny because they had Fenton right beside it that they had a lesser price on. People sometimes kill me with what they think is worth something. Crystal hardly sells, so I just wanted it for the wedding table. That's my one regret. I keep thinking about it because the lid was just so cool. But no regrets on anything else. The other things that I walked away from were completely overpriced, or overpriced for having a chip or a crack in it or a repair. I don't know. But are we 2 weeks out or less from my one niece having her baby, and we are like 3 weeks out from the other niece's wedding, and next week school starts back up for my nephew. So lots and lots of things going on. Oh, and the last thing I want to show you guys, if you didn't see my haul, my dad went up to help my sister move my grandma into an assisted living apartment instead of just her senior apartment that she'd been in. And mind you, I think my grandma's 95 now. She's in her mid-90s. And so they were pulling stuff that they didn't think she needed because this apartment's a bit smaller than the other one. She had this hiding in her stuff, you guys. I didn't have this one yet. And when I tell you that I got my love of vintage and glass from my grandmothers, both grandmothers, my dad's mom and my mom's mom, that is where I get my love of vintage and glass from. So I was very happy that my dad grabbed that for me. I think we're just going to get right into the sale. So first part of the sale will be all new things. Last half of the sale will be items you've seen before, but they will be at a marked down price. And at the very end, I'm going to have 6 items that are a $2 add-on if you purchase something else. So that's how that is going to go. And I haven't done this in a while, but if there's an item that you think I should make an offer up, I will. Because I am going to have the Viking today. I'm going to have the Fenton Bird. So if there is something that you would like me to turn into an offer up, as soon as you see it pop up on the screen, put offer up in the comments and I will make it an offer up. And as always, if you have not purchased from me before, or if you have moved, please email. Hi, Kendra. Please email me your YouTube name, real name if it's different, shipping address, and PayPal email. And I always invoice within 7 days and then ask that you pay within 48 hours, and then everything ships out. The other reason I am not looking forward to summer ending is the cold weather coming up. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. Also, Mom and Dad are going to have to close the pool up soon. I didn't get in the pool yesterday, but I was over there and the water was only 77. Now today, I'm going to go over, I'm going to sit in the sun and read my book and then maybe overheat enough to jump in. I want to get as many pool days as I can before they close it up, but we're already having to fish leaves out every time somebody wants to swim. All right, sale. We are going to move on to the sale. So first up is a little acro agate. Okay, Roxanne, I'll do an offer up on the Viking. And on this one, I did not feel any chips on the bottom. Yeah, I'm glad my mom's pool never got. I like to be cooled off when I get in. I don't want to feel like I'm sitting in a sauna when I get into a pool. And this one I thought was going to glow orange with cadmium. So I was shocked that it was uranium in there. So nice amount of uranium in this little acro agate cornucopia. And, oh, hang on a second. My nephew, thank you, sweetheart, made me coffee. Ooh, it's a little full. He offered to make me coffee, and I was like, yes, please. Okay, so little acro agate cornucopia, and that is going to be $10, number one. $10, number one. I love acro agate, and I can't even tell you why. I just do. Oh, and I see, let me check. I see Steph first. Hi, Steph. And I'm going to have 2 of the acro agate pieces this week, 2 of them next week. If you saw the haul, I have split everything in half. Half will be this week, half will be next week. But as always, if there is something that you saw in my haul that I didn't show this week and you want a bundle, you can email me and get a price. All right, next up are these Post House hand cut lead crystal salt shaker and pepper mill. And they do have their original tags there on the bottom. And these are heavy. These are heavy. I guess I could for the okay, I'll just make everything an offer up. These are going to start at $12. And I don't know if I have any of my mods in here today. Does someone want to put prices in for me? Let me see. Kaz is in here. Kaz, do you have time to put prices in and do stops? Roxana, I've seen those too. And I will take a warm shower. Can't even do hot showers anymore. They make me feel faint. But then I will turn it over to cold at the end. Okay, so start price of $12 on these. And they are heavy. And they're big. So 5 inches. These are 5 inches tall. This one is the salt. And then this one is the pepper mill. Oh, you got to do it right. So in here's the pepper mill. You grind, turn it upside down. But gorgeous crystal if you like crystal. We've got Roxanne in at 12. Trying to remember how a pepper mill works. And I'll just do a countdown of 10, and then Kaz will put in stop. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Good morning, Bonnie. Oh my goodness, these are heavy, you guys. Ooh. All right, those are going to go to Roxanne for $12. Thank you, Roxanne. Next up, this one is also going to start at 12. Is a little hand-painted trinket box. There's the signature right there. And it's 3-footed, which I thought was an interesting shape. No chips, no cracks. It's in beautiful condition. Are those little violets? And it's this yellowish cream color. And the gold all the way around is in really good shape still. And this one is just 3 inches long, 1.5 inch tall. Yeah, the hand painted. It's so beautiful. All right, and if there's no interest on that, we are going to move on. Next up, this one's going to start at 18, and it is the Made in Belgium jar. And it is 9 inches. I do believe this is the biggest one that they make. You can see the Made in Belgium right there. And it's got a nice seal on it still. There's the lid. My mom painted too. She painted ceramics like really, really well. And she made my dad, it was originally sold as a Santa statue, like a tall, thin Santa, but she made him look like Gandalf. Love that. And then she's painted some Native American pieces that my daughter fell in love with. And she painted some angels and gifted us each angels at Christmas. I love these. I actually have a couple of these in the green. But I've seen them in the amber. These were copied and made in Taiwan in the 80s. And you can really tell, hi, Kathy. You can really tell the glass is not near the quality. Marcy, I really got into shabby chic for a while there when the kids were little, and I wanted to do a whole wall of the hand-painted plates, and it was at the same time everybody else had the same idea, and you could not thrift hand-painted plates for anything. All right, just see Sheila in for this at 18. I'm going to count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. We will wait for Kaz's stop, and there it is, and that's going to go to Sheila. Thank you, Sheila. My pen is running out of ink. Okay, next up. Oops, if I write that on the correct line, actually. Oh, no. Gotta grab a different pen. Okay. This next item is going to start at 20. Good morning, Bree. And it was so fun to talk to this guy because he actually has an antique booth at an antique store that I go to quite often. And we had mutual friends. So this is a Metlocks green ceramic sleigh. And I had never even heard of this company. So it comes in 2 pieces. Here is the metal sleigh part in really good condition. And then I love that this blur right here looks like a swan's wing. I love that. And then the detail on the door, the detail on the seat. You get that on both sides. Was Metlocks McCoy's? I looked it up. And they didn't have anything in the article I was reading about it that said McCoy. Hi, Nancy. But I do know, very mid-century. You guys know that I do not know anything about ceramics like I do glass. So there's the sleigh part, and it's the size, you guys. So the sleigh part itself is 6 inches long. The metal frame it sits in, 8.5. You could put tacky plastic in here. That would be fun. You could have Christmas candy in here. That might be even better. Oh, okay, Roxy. I was confused. And he told me that this had actually been in his family. So this wasn't one of the things that he had, just bought for resale. And it was interesting because he still had his original prices on everything, but you were encouraged to, he's like, don't pay attention to the prices from my antique booth. Just let me know what you want to offer for it. All right, next up is the Fenton Amethyst Bird. This will also start at 20. And it is a light purple, so I don't know. Are we calling that amethyst when it's a light purple? It is so stinking pretty. Let me hold up white behind it. There, so you can see the color really well. Yes, a bottle brush tree would look good in there. I love how polished the bottom is. And the Fenton is right here. And I do believe it has an 8 underneath the Fenton. Good morning, Kim. I am great. How are you? And the bird is almost 7 inches long. At its widest part, 2 3/4. And height-wise, if we're going all the way up to the tail, we're looking at like 4 inches. So, Fenton bird. And I am not seeing any interest. So we are going to pass on the Fenton bird. Next up is the Viking. Gotta be stored with the lids off so they don't get knocked over. And we are going to start this out at $40. And I was doing my research and I could not figure out if this color is blue Neek or if this is too dark for blue Neek. So start at $40 on the Viking. There are no chips. There are no cracks. And this is just in amazing condition. And I forgot how much I love Viking. I mean, I knew I loved Viking, but I'd forgotten just how beautiful it is. So here is the lid. No chips, no cracks. And I see Roxanne in at 40. No chips, no cracks. It's the 6 petal. And it stands 8 inches. With the lid, 5.5 inches without the lid. And I see these a lot over the last 5 years without the lid. And they're still pretty, but man, when you find one with the lid with no damage. Of course, I went to a garage sale where they had this one in green. And this was like a month ago. This wasn't my most recent trip. But it had a huge chip on the lid. And I think they were asking between 30 and 40. I can't remember. It might have been 30 for this one with that huge chip on it. Yeah, I was looking at my mid-century book. I don't have a Viking specific book, so I couldn't tell if this was blue Neek or not. All right, I only see Roxanne in at 40. I'm going to start the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. I don't know how they got the clarity that they got on their glass, but it's amazing. All right, and that is going to go to Roxanne for 40. So beautiful. Thank you, Roxanne. Next up is this little swan. And we are going to start this at 20. Now I did get a bottle brush in down there, but I don't know if you can see. It does look like it has a bit of water staining right there. And this color is beautiful because it's green, but looks like it has a blue tint to it. And I absolutely could not figure out who made these with this very specific pattern on the bottom. So this one stands 12 inches exactly. I think because there are bits of it that shade toward teal. I think that's why, probably even if you're not a green person, you find it very pretty. But it is beautiful, and it has been forever since I have found a swung vase. I see Roxanne in at 20. See, I love this optic here. And I found one other online, and they also could not identify the maker. And I went through I put all of my books out last night and sat here with a pile of books looking to see if I could figure out who made this specific bottom, but I could not. And the only other one that I found online didn't have this many little fingers on the mouth. It was just a round mouth, but it had the exact same bottom. All right, we've got Roxanne at 20. I'm going to go ahead and start the countdown on this 12-inch swung vase. And we are going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Yeah, it will look nice next to blues. There's Kaz's stop, and that will be going to Roxanne for 20. Let's set this back over here gently. So pretty. Next up, a little Fenton Cabbage Rose, which is my all-time favorite pattern. This one's going to start at 20. No chips, no cracks. Classic Fenton. I'll show you each piece separately. Here's the lid. So no chips, no cracks. And the lid. You see these a lot without the lid. And if the top is smooth, it's not a compote. That's candy dish that's missing its lid. If the top is ruffled, that is a compote. Fenton made both. All right, with the lid on, we're looking at like 8.5 inches. Without the lid, we're looking at 6.5. So $20 on the Fenton Cabbage Rose candy dish. And if there is no interest, we will move on. Set that down carefully. Okay, next up is the paint by numbers. And I can send only one of them came in a frame. I can send it, or I can take it out of the frame. And I'm going to lot them both together this week. If they don't sell and somebody just wanted one, you can feel free to email me. I'm going to start them together. One money's $20. So start price of $20. Here's the first one. And on the back it says, my grandma, Molly Patrick, painted this in 1953. It says it on the back of both. And that was written by Nancy. So this is the first one. And it's just under 13 by 10. So 10 by 13. I love the colors on them. And here is the second one. I'm going to pull them out so you can see both together and how they'll look displayed on your wall. Oh my goodness, they're so good. So these were painted in 1953. $20 for both. And Molly Patrick did a fantastic job. I can't tell what's my favorite thing about them. Is it the birds? Is it the flowers? Is it the colors? It's everything. Everything. All right, if there is no interest, we will move on. Next up is a little more acro agate. And let me check and see. I think we've got a tiny little flea bite right here. And that is the only thing. So this gorgeous blue color, which is completely different from, like, here's that Belgium canister. Here is the Viking. So completely different shade of blue than anything else I picked up. And it is going to start at $10 for the little acro agate. Just a toothpick. And you can see it's a bit of slag because you can see that white swirl in there and then the deeper blue swirl. So stinking pretty. It's this size. So these are not quite 3.5 inches tall. Acro agate. Yeah, I really came away with the blue glass this time. And I only bought a tiny bit of clear glass. I was good. We avoided it. It helped that I had an outlet in buying those candy dishes for, I see Sheila in at 10, those candy dishes for my niece's wedding. So I knew I was still allowed to look at clear glass. And we are going to start the countdown. We've got Sheila in at 10. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. And there's Kaz's stop. And that one is going to Sheila. Thank you, Sheila. Next up is one of the, I think, 2 pieces of clear glass that I bought for resale. And it is the classic Party Light fairy lamp. And I always include a color changing light inside. This is going to start at $10. So if there's anybody out there yet who doesn't have one, here you go. $10. No chips, no cracks. There is the top. Here's the color changing light that I always include. And here is the base. And these look so pretty at night when you've got the color changing light in, especially now that it will be getting darker earlier. And these stand, let's see, 7 inches tall. Seven inches tall on the fairy lamp. Oh, I'm going to set that down and take a drink of coffee. We'll see if anybody's interested. That was so sweet of my nephew to make coffee. It's been a while since I had a second cup of coffee. I've cut it down to just that first cup of coffee in the morning. This is that mug that my youngest son made me. He threw on the pottery wheel. And then he keeps asking it, he wants it back. And I'm like, you can't have it back. The only fairy lamp that I kept was my big amber one. I think I sold every other fairy lamp when I packed everything up, and I actually kept it out. I didn't pack it up. It's up there. So if we lose power, which we do every now and then, I've got the big one here. All right, we are going to pass on the fairy lamp, and let me turn my little light back off. So everything else that I'm going to show, we're going to go back to the cards. And these are all items that I've shown before, and we are just, we've taken a markdown on them. So first up, we have oh really, Roxanne? We have the toilet ashtray, Florida. This is the one where I think it got chipped. She tossed it into a bag. That was disappointing. Now we're doing cards on the rest of these, Kaz. I've got $2 add-ons at the end, but I've got cards for these items. So this is going to be $5. And it's $5, number 40. $5, number 40. Oh, goodness. Next up is that really pretty plastic green necklace. This one is made in West Germany. And the length on it, well, to its longest point, 12 inches. That's okay, Cass. 12 inches. And this one is $6, number 98. Really pretty with the different greens and a bit of orange in there. Yeah, a bit of orange. But the beads are plastic. Next up is the Old Quilt Westmoreland wedding box. So the pattern is the old quilt. And I have sold this wedding box before, but I'm pretty sure the pattern was the grapes in the vines and wasn't the old quilt. This has its original sticker. I don't know that I've ever found Westmoreland with its original sticker before. No chips, no cracks. And it still has its original felt on the bottom, so I just left it on there. And this one took a markdown to $12 this week. $12, number 49, for a classic Westmoreland wedding box. Ooh, I shook you guys. And it's funny, I cannot do milk glass for the mints at the wedding. I have to do clear because, oh, thank you, Debbie. Debbie's going to take the wedding box. I appreciate it. But I can't do milk glass. I can only do clear because my niece hates milk glass with a passion. She's the one that collects carnival glass. And she does not like the milk glass. All right. I still have this incredible hand beaded felt Christmas stocking. And we've got beads that hang down as garland and as reins on the reindeer. This originally would have had at least 4 bells, but I'm thinking that it's missing 2. So I think it would have had 5. I would have had one here and another one here. And if you look inside, you can tell that this was all hand sewn all the way down. And this is a large size. So like 2 feet, because this is an 18-inch and it's longer than this. So I'm going to say 2 feet on this. And it has taken a markdown to $10, number 13 this week. $10, number 13 on the Christmas stocking. And I've kept it very carefully put up so that my cat has not gotten cat hair on it. Okay, next up is this box with this tree on it. And it's plastic. It's that hard plastic. So it didn't have any kind of identification on it. And it was marked as a candy box from the sale that I got it at. I just thought it was kind of cool. And it's this size. $6, number 46. $6, number 46. And then we have the pink and black hull planter. It does have some staining. It was actually used as a planter. And it has 1 chip on the top side and then chips on the underside of the points. But that gorgeous pink and black, that spaghetti stripe through there, and it's big. So it is lengthwise 14.5 inches. Width at its widest point, almost 5.5. Height-wise, we are looking at 3.5 inches. So nice big planter. I think with glossy paint, you could cover those chips up and then go right ahead and pop your plants in here. It also make a nice mail holder. If you're someone who doesn't go through your mail daily, pop it all in there, and at the end of the week, go through it. $10. $10, number 3, and it is Hull, H-U-L, not Halls. It is Hull pottery. $10, number 3. Okay. Next up is the, oh yeah, Kara. I'm loving that they are finally doing Halloween decor in other colors. I love it. All right, we've got the classic hobnail cat shoe. And let me feel it to see. I don't think this one had any chips or anything on it. And this is definitely one of the quality companies. Perhaps it was Fenton, but lots of other companies made these because you can tell by the feel this is good glass. You can also tell the details on the cat. So, classic amber hobnail cat shoe is taking a mark down to $8, number 82. $8, number 82. Next up is the Cruet. And I do believe this one's Imperial glass stopper. But this one, it looks like somebody has whacked the stopper into here and created this internal break. It is not a crack you can stick your finger in, because if it was, I would hesitate about shipping it. So it's not, you can't stick your fingernail into it. It's not an external crack, but it is a crack inside that somebody probably whacked this too hard back into. Displayability, you don't even see it. And this is the Verde color. And it's this big. It's a little piece, but so sweet. With the stopper on, 5.5 inches tall. And it is only $6. $6, number 47, because of that internal flaw in the glass. All right, we are up to $2 add-ons. If you purchase something already and you would like to add one of these items onto your purchase, they're going to be $2 each. First up, we have the Limoges toothpick. There are no issues with it at all. Limoges, France. The paint and the gold are both in really good condition. So Limoges toothpick, letter S. $2 add-on if you already purchased an item. Next up is the Royal Adderley pin dish with the, is it trillium flower on it? Yeah, trillium flower. It's this size. I see stuff first on the Limoges toothpick. Thank you, Steph. So the Royal Adderley pin dish, letter D. $2 add-on, letter D. Oh, Steph says Sheila can have it. Okay. Let me change that. Next up is the little Made in Occupy Japan dog. There are no chips, no cracks. It's very faint right here, but it does say Made in Occupy Japan right there. It's a little guy. He's adorable. They also made this one in a planter version, and my mom had the planter version. This one, $2 add-on, letter M. For the Made in Occupy Japan ceramic dog. Next up are the, oh, not those yet. Okay. The little small wreath brooch with the rhinestones and imitation pearls on it. This one, $2 add-on, letter X. Letter X on that one. And then these clip earrings that match the flower, the enamel flower brooch. And we've got Roxanne for the small wreath brooch. Thank you, Roxanne. So the flower clip-on earrings. Letter G. Letter G. Ooh, Steph is going to take those. Got stuff for the earrings. And then last today on the $2 add-ons is this. Now this one to me does feel like antique glass. It feels a little bit dry. And it is a relish dish. It has a chip right here. Little chip right there. So clear glass relish dish. And it's letter Q. It's the size for $2. Letter Q. And then I will go back over the few things from the beginning that are still available. So I had, and I'm just going to give you a number for them. Had the hand-painted trinket box with the 3 feet. This one's in such good condition. There are no chips. There's no wear on the gold. It's tiny, but it is hand-painted. And it is $12, number 51, for the hand-painted trinket box. Had the Metlocks ceramic sleigh. And I don't see any damage to this either. Not even crazy. So very good condition. $20, number 29. And if you missed me saying it earlier, if there's something you saw in the haul that I did not have up for sale today, and you would like to include it in the box that you've currently got, you can email me and ask me for a price on any item that you already saw. Otherwise, all of those items that, because I split this in half. So half the items I showed today, half I'll show next Wednesday from the Lincoln Highway Byway haul. But I am not opposed to selling them earlier. The Fenton Amethyst Bird, or Lavender Bird, or Purple Bird. And candle holder, small candy dish. $20, number 58. $20, number 58 for the Fenton Bird. So beautiful. Had the Fenton Cabbage Rose candy dish. No chips, no cracks. It is gorgeous. And Cabbage Rose, my favorite pattern, of course, because roses are my favorite flower. $20, number 53 on that one. The paint by numbers. You get both for $1. Your 10 by 13. And I can take it out of the frame, or I can send the frame, but only one of them came in a frame. You get both for $20, number 44. $20, number 44. Then we had the Party Light Fairy Lamp, and I always include a color changing tea light in it. No chips, no cracks on that one. And that one was $10, number 7. $10, number 7. And that was everything, you guys. And if you missed the beginning, I did get myself this swan. Oh my goodness, I love her so much. Still has original sticker. I forgot to show you guys that. And she's little, so I can squeeze her in my room somewhere. Because, I packed up everything in February, and this is the first time where I'm like, I'm starting to miss my items. Because it's a very small room. There's only so much I could fit in here, but now I've got a little swan. And she's beautiful. All right, you guys, I'm going to get going. I'm going to try and get in the pool today. We'll see if it's warm enough for me. Because sometimes when you're chronically ill, getting into very cold can hurt more. So I'm going to sit in the sun and soak up some sun and read, and then maybe dip in the pool a bit. Yeah, I really did, Roxanne. I love it so much. And it was only $2. She only charged me $2 for it. Probably if it had been more than that, I would have just set it back down and walked away from it, even though I loved it. But because I'm not supposed to be adding things to my room, I don't have the space. So I will be going out this weekend. I don't know if anybody will be having garage sales, because we did have the Lincoln Highway Byway, and a lot of people save everything and do that one sale once a year. Don't do it again. So I don't know. I don't know how garage sales will be, but I do plan to go out sourcing a bit tomorrow. So, thanks, Bonnie. Thanks, Roxana. You guys are awesome. I'll see you next week. Bye.